We're going to start this mindful practice in a comfortable standing position with your feet about hips width apart on the floor. I'm going to invite you to start with just to notice the contact points between your feet and the floor. Whether you've got more weight on the front of the feet or more weight at the back of the feet, there's no real right or wrong here. We're just noticing the contact points between the feet and the floor. And then I'm going to invite you to notice your breath. So as you breathe in and out, it may be that you notice the feeling of the air going in through the nose and out through the mouth, or perhaps noticing the rise and fall of your chest or your clothes rubbing against your skin. Again, we're just noticing. As I talk you through these movements, I'm going to introduce the concept of soft and hard edges. Okay, so the soft edge of a movement would be when you start to feel some tension in an area, and the hard edge would be right at the end of the movement where it feels painful or where you feel a sort of a temptation to grimace or fight against the movement. And where we want to be working with all of these is somewhere between the soft and the hard edges. Okay, so we're going to start off from the top and work our way down. So I'm going to invite you to start with just to gently move your head forwards and backwards as you breathe in and out. And then we're going to have a look over one shoulder and then turn to look over the other shoulder. And again, just noticing, where do you feel this in the body? Do you notice this in the shoulders, in the back, in the arms? We're just paying attention to sensations that we're getting in the body. And then we might do a bit of side to side. So we'll tilt your ear over to your shoulder. Or you might like to do a combined movement, so we get the whole of the head moving. And just an invitation again, just to notice any temptations to hold your breath or to fight against the movement as you're doing this. Next, we're going to move down to the shoulders. So we'll start off just rolling the shoulders in whichever direction you want. And again, just noticing, where do you feel this movement? So for me, it's in the tops of the shoulders, but for you, it might be somewhere different. And if you feel comfortable, what I invite you to do is just to get the arms a bit more involved. So you can start drawing larger circles with your arms. We're repeating each of these movements maybe 5 or 6 times, but in practice, start off small and build up slowly. And then we might go the other way. So you might want to do a few in the other direction as well. And again, as you repeat this one, notice if any of those sensations change. So for me, again, I'm starting to warm up in the shoulders. Okay. Then we're going to move down the body slightly, so we're going to move around to the trunk area. So what I'm going to invite you to do is just to turn from one side to the other. And again, just a reminder to bring your awareness back to the breath. We're not holding the breath as we move, just moving however feels natural to you, as little as, or as far as you feel able to move. Okay. And then next, we'll do a bit of hip movement. Okay. So we'll start drawing small circles with the hips. Doesn't matter which direction you go. And again, I'm just going to invite you to notice where you're feeling this in the body. What sensations are coming up for you? What thoughts might be coming up for you as you do this one? And then we'll do a few in the other direction as well. And if you feel comfortable, perhaps drawing slightly bigger circles with the pelvis, just to really get things loosened up a little bit. The next movement we're going to do is some bending. So I like to think about this one as if we're bending over to pick up a beach towel. So we're just going to bend forwards and then lift up the arms and then down and then up. Just allowing the back to bend as you move and bend forwards and come back up. Lovely. And then we'll do a few side bends. So starting at whichever side you want And again, we're not holding, we're not tensing or straining against the movements. We're just moving naturally as feels comfortable to you. Noticing any sensations as you move. Noticing your breath. Or noticing any thoughts that might be popping into your head whilst you do this movement. And then we're going to move on to the lower limbs. So we'll start off with the feet and come upwards. So you might like to stand holding on to a bit of support as you do this one, but rocking up onto the toes and back onto the heels. And then what we're going to start doing is moving the legs a little bit. So we'll start lifting the knees up slowly. Starting off small and then building higher as you feel a bit more confident. And then we can go backwards too. So bringing your heels up towards your bottom. And again, just noticing where in the body do you feel this? What sensations are showing up for you? So again, for me, I can feel this one particularly around the fronts of the thighs, for example. And then we're going to finish off in the position at which we started, with your feet about your hips width apart, feet flat on the floor in a comfortable position. And now we've finished this routine, I'm just going to invite you again to notice the sensations in your body. Maybe that you notice that you're slightly out of breath, that there's a warmth in the body. It will completely vary from person to person. There's no right or wrong. We're just looking for noticing what's going on for you. And then lastly, I'll just ask you to take a second just to notice the breath. We're not looking to change it, we're just noticing the in-breath and the out-breath. Just taking a few seconds to bring yourself into an awareness of the whole body before we finish.